There she is. Excuse me. Jaden, don't let him get you in trouble. Hi, Krisha. Good morning. Okay. Today we're going to read one of Miss Beck's favorite stories. I sure do have a lot of favorite stories, but this for real is one of my favorite stories. The title of this story is Spookly the Square Pumpkin.
Ooh,
Miss Hunter, have you ever read Spookly the Square Pumpkin? Oh my goodness. It's a good story. Okay. Shh. The author is Joe Troiano and the illustrator is Susan Bonta. Let's listen. Oh, this book is old. One day in the pumpkin patch, the strangest little pumpkin hatched. Spookly wasn't like his friends, where they had curves, he had ends. Spookly was different, he was odd. Spookly the pumpkin wasn't round, he was square. You see him right there?
No. See what's right now. I see one that's a right thing.
Shh, good listeners. While the round pumpkins had fun rolling along, poor Spookly sat there shaped all wrong. He tried and tried with all his might, but could not budge, he just sat tight. The other pumpkins teased him because he was square. Spookly wished he was round and could roll everywhere. That is, until one night when they all discovered it's fine to be round when the weather is fair, but there are times when it's better to be a square. Halloween was just a day away when a mighty storm flew across the bay. It tossed the pumpkins to and fro. It snapped their vines and off they go. Bouncing left, slamming right, banging, bashing, what a sight. Spookly sat there filled with fright, but glad to be a square that night. So why wasn't he rolling around? Yeah, squares don't roll around. All the round pumpkins did. Yeah, they are. Suddenly, the fence gave way. 3 pumpkins rolled out in the bay. They're out in the water. You won't get soaked. It's also perilous. Remember we talked about the word perilous? Dangerous. Spookly knew what must be done. It was up to him. He was the one. He teetered, he tottered, he tipped, he tried, and finally he flipped. He was on his side. I wonder what he's up to.
I'm trying to roll.
He's trying to roll. And he tipped and he flopped and he flipped and he flopped. And then he stopped right in the gap where the fence had snapped. He blocked the way. The hole was capped. All the pumpkins shouted, hooray! Spookly the square pumpkin had saved the day. Then a pumpkin hit him with a whack. He thought his shell would start to crack. Then one hit him with a thump and another one with a smack. They're rolling into them, but they don't mean to. Hey, Miss Hunter. You know that stuff that you're going like that is dirt. You're like playing with dirt in the air, dirt particles. Dirt, dirt, dirt. So they're not really meaning to smack into them. They're just running into them. And he's capped this hole in the fence So they're bumping into them, but they're not going into the water. So that part is good, right? Then, one by one, a ton of pumpkins piled on the stack with a bang and a bash and a crunch and a crash. And then it all went black. Look at these pumpkins. How do they look? Scared. They look scared. Everything went black. With a bash and a crunch and a crash. It's like a thunderstorm, y'all. And then it all went black. Who's ever been in a thunderstorm and then your power goes out? Scary, right? Oh my goodness. Miss Beck's power goes out a lot. All right, listen. And then at dawn, the sun rose again and the storm had stopped. And the farmer came out and checked his crop. He picked his pumpkins up one by one and laid them out in the warm, dry sun. Oh, you're okay, little pumpkin. Yes, you're just fine. Okay, you're not too crushed up. You look still round. Ooh, you have a little bruise on you. Yep, you look all right. You look okay, just part of you's chipped off. Yeah, you look pretty good for still a pumpkin. But I don't know. You look a little tired. You've been up too long. You look good. You look like a nice round pumpkin.
Yeah.
Yes, you look good. You look like a nice round pumpkin. Oh, here's a good looking pumpkin over here. Her hair is fixed so lovely. You didn't even get in the storm, did you? Not really. She hid under a tree.
I did.
This poor pumpkin broke her arm. Oh. Miss Beck, she's just out in the middle of the storm, bless her heart. I was rumbling and tumbling all night long.
Hurt her back.
I hurt my back in the storm. Krisha, did you get in that storm with the no? Okay, you look good too. I think you're safe.
I'm safe.
Who? Yeah, you got a little bruise on you.
I don't.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Y'all are good pumpkins. You're fine. You're safe.
Am I safe?
Yes. All right. Listening ears. And then he looked at Spookly Harlan. His shell was bruised. His stem was too. But he was so brave, sitting there strong and true. Right then and there, the farmer knew of all the seeds he'd sown, Spookly was the most special that had ever grown. Why is he the most special?
Because he's a square.
Because he's a square. And what did he do?
He saved them.
He saved them. Thank goodness. And the next year when it was time to sow, he sowed those seeds in every row. He watered and weeded and watched them grow. And oh, that morning about mid-June when the pumpkin patch began to bloom, there were tiny, tiny pumpkins everywhere. Hundreds and hundreds, and most of them square. But, you see the scarecrow? You see the scarecrow? Remember what we said the job of a scarecrow is? Liam, what's the job of a scarecrow?
So I can scare the crows.
Yes, scare the birds away, right?
And
So scare the birds away from the pumpkins so they don't eat up all the pumpkins. Look at all these square pumpkins, and they're all different colors. I love them. Yeah, they are all different colors. Listen. And some are cubes, and some rectangular, some are flat, and others triangular. There was a bright red ones and 2 rows of blue and polka dot pumpkins and rainbow ones too. There were thousands of colors and hundreds of shapes. Oh, what a garden variety makes. You want to see them?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, they look amazing. Look at all those pumpkins.
One is a triangle.
Yeah, let's look at them. This one's a rectangular,
Yeah.
and this one's a cube, and they got circles and triangles. Yeah, look, Miss Beck loves polka dots.
I like the red one.
That one's cute.
I like
Oh, look, there's a little ladybug on the rainbow one. Now, every year on Halloween, Spookly's Patch is quite a scene. People come from far and near to see what wonders grew that year. They stop, they gawk, they gaze, they stare. They pick a pumpkin that's round, rectangular, or perfectly square. Here's our pumpkin patch. Does that look like a pumpkin patch you've ever seen?
No.
No. That one's super cool, right? You've seen a pumpkin patch with different color pumpkins before? No. Different shape. Yeah, you can paint them.
Guess what? My dad got us a pumpkin kit.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah, so there's a unicorn.
Okay,
There's a unicorn one for my sister. I got a T-Rex one.
cool. Okay, listen to the last page. This is the most important part. Catch your bobble. Most important part. Now, you know the story of how Spookly grew. Maybe someday, if you tell someone too, they'll go tell another, and maybe we will all discover that you can't judge a book or a pumpkin by its cover. The end. So why do you think Miss Beck said that was the most important page? Don't judge a book or a pumpkin by its cover. What does that mean? Ava? Yeah, don't be mean to someone just because of how they look, right? They might be a really nice and a really good person. If the other friends had looked at Spookly and they had said something like, oh, you're a square, we don't like you, then that would be so mean. And Spookly was really, really helpful. What did he do that was really helpful for the other pumpkins? Clark, what did he do?
He saved them.
He saved them. So he was a hero. He was a hero like the Peach Boy, wasn't he? Mm-hmm. And this story of Spookly is kind of like the folktales we've been reading, passed on from people to people. But this one actually got written down. So it's a pretty old story, this old Spookly. He's been in my classroom for about 20 years, this old Spookly. Well, no, I don't believe Miss Beck is 100 years old. I'm trying to see what year this book was published. Yes, I am 20. Okay, this book says published in 2001. So I guess that was 19 years ago. And it was by the Holiday Hill Farm. And if any of you have ever gone on Netflix, they have the Spookly the Square Pumpkin movie. And it's so good. But if you watched it, it is not the same as the book. It's different.
I watched it.
I'm not. All right, we're going to tell Krisha goodbye, okay? Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. See you later. See you later. See you later. It's time to say goodbye. Goodbye, Krisha.